Good evening. How you all doing? Great to see you. Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to the show. Hello. How you doing? Oh, the screen looks massive for some reason. We got like this huge screen. There's no like background. It's bizarre. That'll probably change in a minute. They've changed things with the software. There you go. Welcome to another Tuesday night gaming chat where we talk about all the latest gaming news and reviews from the last 7 days or so. I am your host, Mag, also known as Middle-Aged Gamer Guy. Let's see who's in tonight. First one here was Mr. Dan Game Tank. 14 minutes early. Good evening, Dan. Hope you're well. Gozzo was here quickly and swiftly after that. Good evening, Gozzo. And then on here, I've got Ubi Official. Good to see you, Ubi. Great to have you here. Flame, good evening. Kindred, good evening. Great to see you. Danka, as always. Good to see you. Will, yo. There you go. Chaotic says, good evening, you wonderful beans. I'll be in properly soon. No worries at all, Chaotic. Greatly appreciate it. And if you want to see a very special stream, myself and Chaotic, who is our community member of the month, so we can get a shout out for her, we'll be playing a game that we're talking about tonight on Friday night. Thursday's stream has been moved to Friday. And all I'm going to say is it's this, if you can see it by my lights. That's all I'm saying. We'll talk about more about that a little bit later. It's going to be brilliant, isn't it? Chaotic says, I can't wait. It's going to be brilliant. But do go follow Chaotic. She's absolutely fantastic. And she is our community member of the month. So, obviously, every week I can't do this show by myself. I have to have someone who's far more knowledgeable than any video games that I have ever played or existed or know that sit in my brain for rent-free. So I have to have my co-host who knows the most. Give it up for one, the only, Mr. David Jones.
Good evening, mate. How you doing?
I'm very well. There you go. How are you?
Good. I'm all right, thank you. Evening, everyone in chat. Hope you're all doing good.
Awesome. What have you been up to? What have you been playing?
I think I've been playing the same stuff I was playing last week, which is a bit more of the walkabout mini golf, because that's just been great fun playing that cart-wise. So a friend of myself brought a pack of like 5 additional courses for that one, because there's loads of courses for that and more keep coming out. So we've just been playing through some of those, and they've been really good. The one we played on Sunday was called El Dorado, and it was themed around like sort of Inca temples. So it was all quite cool the way that one was done.
So it wasn't based around a really dodgy 90s TV soap then?
It wasn't, no.
No, okay, just checking. Okay.
I had forgotten about that soap. So you did refresh my memory, because yes, it was shit, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Apparently you can watch it back on UK Gold, someone told me the other week, and I was like, why? Why
would you do it to yourself?
Yes, exactly. But anyway, golfing in Inca Temple sounds so much fun.
So that was really cool. And then otherwise on my own, I've just been playing Shadow of the Erdtree, Elden Ring DLC. Carrying on with that. I think I'm probably not too far off really finishing it. I mean, like the last sort of area of the map where it's guided me to. But I'm getting distracted because there's as is the case this game, lots of stuff to go and discover. Little bits like just off the beaten path. So it gives you like the golden path to follow. But take your time, look around, you find all these like hidden little secrets. It's like I was just in one of the legacy dungeons in the game, and I managed to find I think 2 hidden routes out of that. Yeah. One of which was to a boss that I haven't managed to beat yet. He's been absolutely hammering me every time I try. So I'll go back to him at some point. But he's an optional boss, so I haven't got to worry about actually beating him to beat the game. I can just come back at any point and do that one. But still enjoying it. 160 hours in. I think my character's level 201. So I haven't done too badly, I'd say, in that.
That's pretty good going. That's pretty good going. Iquel, good evening. Good to see you. Big Jesse, good evening. Good to see you. Dank says, I think there's been another map announced today because he was watching the VR showcase. So let me
I saw an advert in the game on Sunday for a Mount Olympus one. I can't remember if it's actually called Mount Olympus or not, but that's what it looked like.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are a couple of the ones recently had like a Vegas themed one with Elvis Presley.
Oh, nice. Okay.
But there's just loads in there. There's like Wallace and Gromit themed one. I don't know if you remember the film Labyrinth, where David Bowie was a goblin king.
Yeah.
There's a course themed around that.
Really?
There's loads of just cool stuff in it. It's a brilliant game. Definitely recommend to anyone with a VR headset. Well worth playing.
I will have to try that. There you go. LeBray says, you remind me of the Babe, the power of the Babe. Yes. Which Babe? You Babe, that Babe. Hello, LeBray. It's good to see you. So yeah, in terms of games, I've not played a lot because I've been crazily here, there, and everywhere. So Dynasty Warriors has been shelved for a week, which hopefully I'm going to finish this weekend because I've got that last chapter.
Mm-hmm.
But been playing a lot of 2 Point Museum and 2 Point Hospital.
Oh, nice.
Did the 2 Point Museum stream last night and continue to play more of it. Really love it. Can see why it got such good reviews. But was playing more 2 Point Hospital just because I was like, right, I need to finish this as well. So kind of playing them alongside. So things like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Avowed, and Pirate Yakuza just sitting there waiting. And then obviously Split Fiction will be playing on Friday, so that'll probably take precedence over everything. But ironically, on Game Pass, there's a couple of games coming to Game Pass. One which was a game that was already on it that's come back, which is Enter the Gungeon, which came back on Game Pass today. Absolutely adored that and was gutted when they took it off because never finished it. So I literally had a quick 15 minutes on it before the show tonight. And then a game that we talked about last year, which I had the demo of, which was Mullet Majak, and that comes to Game Pass. So I'm like, I never got to play the full game of that, and that's on Game Pass. So that I think lands Thursday. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that.
So plenty to keep you busy there.
Yeah, I'm going to have plenty going on, and with other games, it's going to be one of those things. So I'm just sending a message to our guest because he's having technical issues. So I'm just going to do that. So I'm going to stall. But yeah, Mullet Majak comes to Game Pass in 2 days, and it's like a first-person shooter, but you've got to be quick because you've only got 10 seconds, and if you don't kill stuff in 10 seconds, you die. So it's like Crank, an anime version of Crank in the film Crank.
Oh, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah. Falco says, you guys coming to Timeless Con again? It's in Liverpool in August. Yes. Funny you should mention that. Exclamation Timeless in chat if you want some information. We've sold 25% of the VIP tickets. Literally 25% of the VIP tickets have already sold. I mean, tickets have only been on sale 11 days. And we've already outsold the first year that we did it when it was actually called something else. But if you want to get tickets, they're there. Jenny, good evening. Good to see you, lovely. The praise says, never heard of it. But there's the info. Jesse says, I'm giving it a miss. I don't blame you. 155. Oh, don't say that. 155 days to go. Bay says, I still need to book a hotel. We have had our second talks with hotels to get cheaper rates today, but then they've introduced me to a load of other hotels that we might be able to get a load of better rates. So as soon as we've finalized all that, folks, we will basically give you options to get cheap hotels and stuff for the event. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do now, because our guest has disappeared because of his technical issues. I am going to play the trailer for Timeless because I was going to do this later anyway, but it makes sense to do it now. So if you haven't got your tickets, folks, 25% of, hang on, I've just pressed the wrong button. 25% of, oh, I don't need to do it like that. I can do it like this. I forgot. They've added new things. They keep adding new stuff to this, so I could just press the button and it happens. But yeah, 25% of the VIP tickets have gone. So do have a look at this. This is Timeless Gaming Convention, which we announced literally 10 days ago. Let's go. Hi, I'm Middle Aged Gamer Guy, and I'm very excited to announce that Timeless 2025 is coming to Liverpool here at the Cairns Brewery. What was that? There you go. I was like, what on earth is this doing? It's just decided to be really weird. There you go. They've changed something on this now, and I press the buttons. It doesn't do exactly what it says. Because I was like, oh, go full screen. And then the video ended and just disappeared. I was like, normally just brings us back. So I'm going to have to watch that. That's a little bit worried when we play the trailers for the games. Because
you got to love these new features, haven't you?
They literally added this today as well. So I'm just like, oh, dear God. Why didn't they do it like yesterday when I could have a play around with it? But anyway, we'll get used to it. There you go. Jenny says, there he is. There he is. So our guest is just trying to sort something out. Nice. Hopefully games are on free play. Falco, all games are on free play, bar two things. One, which is the 2 photo booths that are there. And I believe the pool tables you have to pay, but everything else is free. We did a Q&A on it last week, on Monday last week's stream. It is on Twitch on a catch up, and it is on YouTube now as well. There are no pinball machines, mate. There are no pinball machines. They took them all out because people kept damaging them, and I know the pain because I know Arcade Club has those problems as well. Cool. So there you go. But yeah, if you've got any questions, by all means, have a look at that video that we did last week. Or there's a lot of information on the website, and it tells you about what is free, what is not, and what you can play. And we are expecting a list of all the games that they have at the arcade to be added to the website as soon as Arcades have confirmed what new machines are coming in before our event, which is really cool. So we're doing that. LeBray's like, no, my beloved pinball. Yeah, there are no pinball machines. Basketball they charge separately for too. Yes, they probably do. But everything else is all the PCs, all the Xboxes, all the Switches, all the Mega Drives, all the SNESes, all the NESes, all the Saturns, the Dreamcasts, the N64s, and all the arcade games, retro and new, are all free to play. So there you go. And the shuffleboard. There you go. Can't argue with that. Right. Our guest is ready. He is here. Let us bring us in because we're going to have to crack on with this, folks. This gentleman was, funny enough, it actually segues quite beautifully, was at Timeless Gaming Convention last year. It was the first time that he attended. He is good friends with a friend of ours, Mr. Paul Monaghan, the editor of Pixel Addict magazine. And he hosts a couple of wonderful podcasts, one which I was very grateful for being on. We recorded it back in October and it aired back in January, known as 8-Bit Back Issues. Please welcome the man behind that podcast. Please welcome Geoff. Hello.
Hello. How you doing, Meg?
Yeah, good. I'm glad you're here now. So I was like, because I was literally minutes away from introducing you. And then I was like, oh, his camera's going weird. And I was like, oh, no. So
I've just spent the last 5-10 minutes running around trying to find my spare camera. I'm not used to this kind of exercise this late on an evening.
Yeah, but there you go. Thank you for being here, Geoff. Dan has put the links in. Sophie, thank you so much for the resub. Hello, Soph. That is 41 months at tier 1. This is for the hot man. I'm guessing she's referring to Dave because I never knew that. How many months, Soph? Yes. Also, she says, not staying long. I'm about to head off home. I'm really tired. No worries. Have a safe journey, Soph. Appreciate you being here. And thank you for the sub. So greatly appreciate that. The Brace says, hello, Geoff. There you go. Welcome. But if you would like to check out, find out more about Geoff before we get into, there is a Linktree link that Dan Game Tank has just posted that literally has all of Geoff's socials, Blue Sky, Twitter, Facebook, Insta, and has a link to the 8-Bit Back Issues podcast, which are on Spotify. But for those who don't know about the podcast, please do tell us a little bit more, Geoff.
Well, how can I say it? I had this wild idea, and I started doing it as YouTube videos a couple of years ago, just flicking through old issues of magazines and sort of randomly commenting on them. And it didn't really go anywhere, but it sort of percolated in the back of my mind. And I've been invited to get involved in a Star Trek podcast on the same network a couple of years previously. And I thought, yeah, great. And a couple of years ago, we had this sort of get together in Birmingham, Podcast Boss, He said, I'm looking for new ideas for podcasts. And I said, I've got this idea about talking about retro video games, but using the magazines that came out at the time as sort of the basis for a conversation. You flick through the pages of the magazine, see what memories get sparked, and it's that sort of free-flowing thing. Yes, I mean, I go through these magazines and research them and come up with ideas or talking points, but a lot of it is guided by the guests themselves, as you know, Mag. It's all about finding something and going, the episode that you were on, Road Blasters was on the cover. We had a chat about Road Blasters, and turn a few more pages, and then maybe an advert for a game or the letters page. We had a fun time talking with one of my previous guests, a guy called Mark Adams, who hosts a Red Dwarf podcast on the network.
Oh, nice.
And we were looking at some letters pages and thinking, oh God, these are dated really badly now, or dating ads, sort of things that you get in these old 80s and 90s magazines. Some of them don't age well, I'll be perfectly honest with you. But it's interesting to see them from a 2024, 2025 perspective.
Yeah, I really enjoyed my time on the podcast. So firstly, it was great to meet you at Timeless. But secondly, thank you so much for inviting me on. If anyone hasn't seen the episode, or so I should say, listen to the episode that I've been on, the link will appear in chat shortly. But yeah, some of the ads, oh boy, yes. We've fondly talked about a number of things. One, we're talking a lot of mail order stuff. And in fact, we had a whole conversation about the fact that there was a thing that is still going all this time. Like we said that you could still mail.
Oh,
yeah. The one company for like the D&D thing, which was insane to think that they're still going, and you can actually still do mail order stuff for the games and the sheets and stuff. But
play by mail, it's bizarre.
But then all these other adverts that did have scantily clad women and stuff that was okay. And I know we've had oh God, I've now forgotten his name. Another editor of many magazines, Paul McNally, has been on the show, and he was editor of many magazines, and he just said back in that day, in the 80s and 90s, they would just pay to have models, have their bits out because it would sell magazines. And he said you wouldn't even consider doing it now because he said, like, anyone who comes up with that idea, it's just a ridiculous idea. He said, but that's what sold at games and adverts. And it's bizarre. And he just said there's certain things that he would never do now that they got away with. And as you say, it's funny how we went over conversations. So there you go. Dave Johnson, good evening. I know Dave's not feeling very well, so I hope you get well soon, mate. I know he's not well at all. He says, it won't. We can't afford the links. We haven't got a budget. We can. Well, you know the saying, sex sells. It does, but yeah, again, it was a different time. And like you said with the letters comments, I remember computer and video games, especially with that, they used to have a guy called Yob, who basically just insulted all the people who send letters in and would tell them to F off and stuff. And you kind of look at it now and you go, why would you do that? But it was funny at the time. So, yeah, there you go. Dave Johnson says, well, if sexiness sells, explain why OG Dave is on the stream. Well, because he's perfectly sexy.
Yeah, bring the hot. That's what's he on about.
He brings the hotness, That's what Sophie tunes in for, She don't come to look at me. But there you go. All right, at least Dave will have a bucket to be sick into. Oh, dear. But yeah, poor Dave. There you go. Anyway, so also, do you want to tell us a little bit about, because obviously you mentioned the Star Trek, the Make It So podcast that you do. You want to tell us a little bit about that as well?
Yeah, it's a podcast. Originally, we did a podcast called Beyond Farpoint, which was just about Star Trek The Next Generation, and we would look into themes, characters, episodes, that sort of thing. And it wasn't, we tried to avoid doing the episode by episode review, which seems to be so prevalent across podcasts. We thought, we'll talk about, say, holodecks, or we'll talk about Star Trek technology, and just talk about where they've appeared in a few episodes. But then we got invited on to do Make It So instead, which is the podcast I'm still with, myself and my co-host Baz Greenland. And it's about the whole Next Generation era of Star Trek. So it's Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager. and also now Star Trek Picard, Star Trek Lower Decks, and Star Trek Prodigy, some of the newer shows, because they all take place in that era. And we've had people as well saying, well, why didn't you do Kirk and Spock? Why didn't you do Discovery? And it's like, nothing against it. We love them all, except there's a sister show called We Are Starfleet, and they deal with that era of Star Trek. So they deal with the original series, Enterprise, Discovery, Strange New Worlds, and anything else I can't think of off the top of my head. But yeah, we've been carrying on doing that. We did episode reviews of when the new episodes of Prodigy and Lower Decks aired last season. That's all coming to an end now, so the show's a little bit on hiatus. So we've been looking back at some of the legacy era again. Long answer.
No, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. Now I know for people who want to listen to more episodes of both podcasts, you have been putting your links in my Discord. So if obviously both you, I know the latest one of 8-bit back issues you put in, and obviously make it so. I think we literally posted that the other day. I think we did, I believe.
I don't know if I've given you the link for that one, but it's at Jean-Luc Podard, which is one of the best social media links I've come across. I didn't come up with that. That was courtesy of Kurt, our original host. But Jean-Luc Podard is where you can find those socials.
It's got a nice ring to it, hasn't it? It's great. If you want to follow Geoff and go check out some of the podcasts, can we have the Linktree link in again? We will be posting it throughout the show, and you can follow him on all socials because he's a wonderful chap, and we are very grateful to have you on the show. So, gentlemen, shall we crack on with tonight's show?
Yeah, let's get going, mate.
Okay, so, ladies and gentlemen, this is our 207th show, and we have some new games for you. We've got 7 new games tonight, including Split Fiction, which obviously everyone has been talking about, and Frag Punk, but it's a bit of an interesting one because it was not the release that everyone was expecting, so we'll be talking about that as well. Plus, we've got 5 other games for you, and we've got some news stories, including why there might not be a Last of Us Part 3, and also why the thing that we talked about either on last week's show or the week before, talking about the GTA 5 Enhanced Edition for PC, and why that has been a steaming pile of doo-doo. So on release when it came out last week. So this and very much more. But we are going to get cracking onto our first game. And this is almost not a sequel, but a game that falls in tangent with, ironically, a game that was in our top 15 games of the year a couple of years ago. So you may have heard of Fights in Tight Spaces. Well, this is a variation on that because this is the trailer for Nights in Tight Spaces. We'll talk more about this after this trailer.
I'll tell you what I know about tight spaces. The great Leonardo da Vinci once said, small rooms discipline the mind, large ones weaken it. Philosopher William James said that man lives in only one small room of the enormous house of his consciousness. But, on the contrary, artist Billy Corgan said, if I spent 14 months in a small room with Jesus Christ himself, I'd want to fist fight with him.
There you go. That is Nights in Tight Spaces, which came out last Tuesday on PC. And I am going to say, annoyingly, when they brought the trailer out for the original game, the trailer was excellent. And this is one of those trailers that suffers from hardly any footage, but the graphics actually look better than the original game. So why they've decided to hardly show any footage, I don't know why. So the mind boggles on that one, because Fights in Tight Spaces was an excellent game. But Dave, tell us more about this variation of that game.
Yes, this is taking what they came up with for Fights in Tight Spaces, just giving it a bit of a medieval spin. So, giving you knights and archers and other sorts of characters to play through. It's the same roguelike deck builder. That's the general style that this one's going for. So you'll be doing like multiple runs. You can pick one of 3 characters to begin with, but you'll unlock additional ones during like your runs. I think it's probably about 10 all in. So there's quite a number that you can play through. Try different tactics out with. But it's viewed from an isometric viewpoint, and it's turn-based combat. So you got to be fairly strategic with your characters, trying to keep them alive for your run, trying to take out all the enemies. But you will have to sort of play the game using the cards to get drawn. And use those to do certain moves or defend yourself, etc. From what I've seen of the gameplay and the graphics, looks pretty good. Not much in that trailer to really appreciate. You catch the odd little glimpse for a second, but if you go and look at it, the graphics do look pretty cool. Actually, it's got a nice art style that definitely I think makes it stand out, and gameplay wise looks pretty cool. So if you're up for a bit of strategy, a bit of deck building thrown in, I think it's could be pretty good fun.
Yeah. I know Brad, who was our guest for that Christmas show, who picked this game. He absolutely adored it, and I know the DLC for it was very good. It got rave reviews, but it's a question of whether it can carry over in the medieval theme. Geoff, I mean, have you ever played any sort of roguelikes or anything like this? Would this be your kind of game?
No, it's not my sort of game, in all honesty. But I'm always willing to give a game a try, even if it's just 5 minutes or stuff that, or wow, I could really get into something like this. It's, as you said, it's very. There's not much in the way of game footage in the trailer itself, so I'll be honest, because it's not on my radar. I didn't know there'd been a previous one, so I did a quick look earlier on today at did a search online and looked at some of the graphics, and I thought, it looks good, looks kind of cool, but I don't know if it's the sort of game I would dive into. If it appeared on Game Pass or something like that, I might download it and give it a blast and see if it's worth paying full price for.
There is a free demo apparently on Steam, so I did not know that. Thank you, Danka, because apparently it's £16.75 at the moment on Steam. It's not on consoles yet, but it's a good chance it will come to console. If anyone is not too sure about it, do give the demo a try. So at least there's that we can go for, which is always good, because then it gives you an indication of what you want to. Unless it's a rubbish demo that hardly shows you anything, and then anyway, because that does happen. I have had that with games where they've really gone, "Oh, this game's amazing." You play the demo and you go, "Not sure about that." So for those who may not have seen the show before, you may be wondering why all these scores are appearing in chat, or why people are putting numbers in the chat. That's because we technically don't review the games, but we scour the internet to get a ton of reviews, and we turn that into an average, and we get those reviews from all different places, whether it be Eurogamer, Metacritic, IGN, GameSpot, GamerRanks, to name a few. You may agree with the score, you may not, but remember, it's an average and it's a bit of fun, and we turn this into a little competition for our chat and Dave and our guest. And if any of you get it right, you get a shout out in the chat. So Geoff, we will basically just keep shouting out your podcast every time you get it right. That's the deal. Okay.
Works for me.
Awesome.
I'm going to try and get it right a lot of times then.
Yeah. I was wondering what the numbers were, said Jesse. Well, now you know. Only been watching for 4 years, but never mind. So let's see what people are saying already. So Dank said yes, not much game footage, maybe a 7. Gozzo going with Danka's score there, going for a 7. LeBray says 6.5, a little bit lower. Kinjez a little bit higher, 7.5. Iquel thinks it's going to do as well as the original game, 8 out of 10. Flame says 6.5. Also, I want to say hello to Drawn Unicycle, who's watching. It's afternoon over where he is. Hello, Drawn Unicycle. Will says 7. Dave is accusing me of rigging the show for Dave. I can guarantee that I don't, because he didn't get many right last week. I think he got 2 right out of, is it 6 or 8? Can't remember. Out of 7.
6 last week. 7.
7, and he only got 2 right. So I can't see how I rig it, unless you're saying I rig it for him to fail. Which, what's the point of that? But there you go. And lots of people talking about my height and trying to guess scores about my height. Thank you for that. So Dave, we'll start with you tonight. What do you reckon this has got?
I'm going to try a 7.5.
7.5 for this one. Dave says 7 inches. Fine. Geoff, what do you reckon this got? You can have halves and whole numbers, by the way. So
yeah, I'm going to play it safe because I don't know that much about the game, but I'm going to go with 7.
Okay, going for a 7 as well. Chaotic is back with us. Hello, you wonderful beans. Let's go. Welcome, Chaotic. We are talking about Knights in Tight Spaces, a roguelike action game, or beat 'em up in a way. Yes, I know what you meant, Dave. It's still 7. That's fine. Last chance, folks, to get your scores in. This is Knights in Tight Spaces, which came out Tuesday last week on PC. Celtic's like, ooh, sounds right up my street. With the original game called Fights in Tight Spaces was excellent. Chaotic says a 6.5 for that. So if there are no more guesses, I can tell you that our first game of the evening may not have got as good as scores as the original game, but it certainly got decent scores because it did get a 7 out of 10. So there you go. So well done, Geoff. You got it right. Can we have a shout outs for Geoff? Please do go follow Geoff's podcast and all his socials. Chaotic, well done. You got it right, and you didn't even see the trailer, so that's fantastic. I love that. That proves we don't rig it. Dave Johnson, well done. You got it right. Scrolling up. Will, well done. You got it right. Congratulations. All these people are getting shout-outs. Gozzo, well done. Danka, well done. You were the first one to guess it there. Well done to all you wonderful people for getting it right. And don't forget, don't just follow our wonderful guest this evening. Please do follow all these wonderful people because they spend their time watching the show week in, week out. So give them a follow because they also stream and stuff. Hashtag rigged, says LeBraze. It's not. It can't be. It can't be. Surely not. But there you go. And Dave was just a little bit off there. So it can't be rigged because he didn't get it right. So there you go. Anyway, let's move on to our first news story. So obviously on last week's show, we talked about Monster Hunter Wild, which came out and got an 8 out of 10 on the show, which was a little bit lower than some people were expecting, but it's mainly because they stated that the game was actually quite easy. And compared to Monster Hunter Worlds, which had a 40 to 50 hour campaign, this is only 15 hours. However, hasn't stopped people buying it because it is officially Capcom's fastest selling game of all time. It has broken records for Capcom and it has sold 8 million units in 3 days. So from 2 Fridays ago, it sold 8 million units. Yes, bloody hell, indeed. This has actually beaten some of their previous games. So in 2021, we had Monster Hunter Rise, which sold 4 million copies. But the last main game in the series came out in 2018, which was Monster Hunter Worlds, which sold 5 million copies. So this now makes this the 7th most played game on Steam ever. This has now beaten Cyberpunk. This has overtaken Cyberpunk. And Cyberpunk's been knocking around for nearly 4 years. God, it might be coming up to 5 years at the end of this year. So that is pretty phenomenal. So despite, it got good scores, but despite people saying, well, it's more of like an easier game, hasn't stopped people going and buying it and loving the hell out of it by the looks of things, gents, has it?
No, it's a big franchise, a recognisable name, isn't it? Everyone really enjoyed Worlds. That did very, very well. So I think everyone's just been waiting, chopping it a bit for the follow-up. So just like their day one to get it. But yeah, 8 million in 3 days is pretty impressive. Probably still going to go on and sell a good chunk more, I reckon. Yeah.
Your thoughts, Geoff?
If it's easier, I'm wondering if that's just made it more accessible to, casual, hate the phrase, but casual gamers where they're going in and going, if you find that game too hard, try this one.
Yeah.
Or, the campaign is shorter. Maybe there's loads of stuff you can do on the side. Look at things like GTA 5. You can play that for a few hours in full campaign, but you can spend hours and hours and hours just doing everything else.
Yeah.
And then come back to the game after a few days,
Yeah. I think it's very much the case that they've already kind of outlaid, we see for spring and summer, what the end game content is, because there is end game. And I think they've done it the other way, whereas people will play a 50-hour campaign and then there's some ongoing content. And this time they've gone, well, this is short. And as you say, makes it easy entry for people who've never played any of the franchise before. And then they can, if they don't want to carry on, they don't have to. They've completed the game. But the hardcore fans will continue to play it, I think, or people who go, yeah, I do want to carry on playing it. So I think that's possibly the success of it. But yeah, it got really good reviews. So we will see whether Capcom will repeat that success, because it's beating like all their other franchises, which is insane to think like they've got Resident Evil and that. But yeah, 3 days and 8 million copies. Wow, it's nuts. LeBray said maybe people are up for an easy, relaxing game. I mean, it's easier. I wouldn't say it's an easy, relaxing game, but maybe it's easier. Running around chopping up monsters. I don't know whether you call that relaxing. Maybe you do. Depends what you're into, I guess. But yeah, we'll see. But there you go. So congratulations to Capcom and the team from Monster Hunter Wilds for shifting a hell of a lot thing and being the 7th most played game on Steam ever. So there you go. LeBraze also says, I've still not 100%ed Skyrim. That's so much content. Exactly. It's a game that just keeps going. Oh, LeBraze does like chopping things up, though. So there you go. Nice, relaxing game for LeBraze. There you go. Moving on to our second game of the night. Part of a franchise that people have known for many, many years, and not only games, but also a cartoon series. Where in the world has she been? Where in time has she been? Where in space has she been? And now she has a new adventure. This came out last Tuesday on PS4, 5, Xbox Series X, S1, Nintendo Switch, and PC. And she's technically not where anywhere, because this one is just called Carmen Sandiago.
Agents, the infamous crime syndicate Vile is back, and worse than ever. They've been stealing the greatest treasures from around the world. The Acme agency is overwhelmed. We need help. While we might not like it, we need Carmen Sandiago. To stop Vile's army of thieves, we need the world's greatest thief. Given her criminal past, we may not trust Carmen Sandiago, but her skills are undeniable. She will track Vile to every corner of the globe. Investigate the scene and interview locals. She will connect every dot, collect every clue. She has a toolkit unlike anything we've ever seen. She can get in anywhere and get out with anything. We're up against some of Vile's most dangerous operatives. Paper Star, Fast Eddie B. But with Carmen on our side, we might finally have the chance to take them down. We don't have a moment to waste. Carmen Sandiago, are you out there?
So there you go. So I believe this was originally first on Netflix games. It's one of those games that appeared on there, a bit like games like Paper Trail and other things. And now has basically appeared on everything else.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit more about this one then, please, Dave.
Yeah. As you say, it came out on iOS and Android first. I think probably everyone forgets Netflix do games. They release them on mobile. Because I know I certainly forget they have games on there. Then we talk about on this, it's like, oh yeah, I forgot they do games.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, if you've got a Netflix subscription, you're going to have a look at it on your mobile phone. But yeah, no, it's out on everything else. So yeah, in this one you get to play as Carmen Sandiago, which is a change from the original games where you were always searching for it. And I think originally it was an educational series of games.
It was, yeah.
So it sort of includes like find around the world or in space or wherever. But yeah, in this one, she's after like people who are part of a sort of a big evil corporation called Vile. So I guess this is what they had in the Netflix cartoon series that came out. So I don't know if any of that was in the original games or just made up for the Netflix series. No idea about that bit. But you're searching for clues in the world to help you identify which of the people from Vile is the actual suspect in the crimes that are going on. So it's a lot of puzzle solving, clue collecting, stuff like that. Looks okay. Doesn't look like it's anything particularly remarkable, but say since it's there to play on your phone, if you've got a Netflix subscription, you can just have a look at it. It's not going to cost you anything. Might be okay.
Yeah. Dave says we need to make Dave doesn't remember that Netflix do games because his backlog will be so vast he could build a wooden cabin with it to add to your backlog already. So,
my backlog's terrible.
Yeah. So literally, it would be a cabin made out of backlogs.
Mm-hmm. I don't think I'll ever complete my backlog.
Yeah.
If I tried, I'd have to quit absolutely everything else.
Yeah. Quit life.
That's it. Just concentrate on that.
Geoff, your thoughts on? I'm guessing you're familiar with the Carmen Sandiago franchise and everything. So
I'm about to hit 50 this year, so yeah, I'm very familiar with Carmen Sandiago games. I've got to be honest, this is right up my street. I love this sort of game. It's very reminiscent of point and click adventures from back when I was a kid, but it kind of reminds me as well of other games I've been playing. There's a game I played recently on Xbox called Agent A Puzzle in Disguise, which I absolutely loved. And this reminded me of that one as well. And if the gameplay is up to scratch, it's definitely my sort of game. And I've got a Netflix account, so I'm going to be checking this out tomorrow. I've got a day off. I'm going to look at it tomorrow.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. So that's my Wednesday sorted.
Brilliant. I will try this at the weekend. I'll give it a go. Just a few minutes to give it a go on top of everything else that I want to play. But we'll see how we go. Games Guru, good evening. How are you doing? Games Guru also says, Geoff, hello, my friend. This is a lovely surprise. Please check out. Check out
Games Guru is my next guest. He's on my April episode.
Oh, sweet.
So yeah, he's going to be on the next episode out next month.
Sweet. Do you guys meet at Timeless as well, by any chance?
Yes. He stopped me because he saw my T-shirt.
Nice. See? Bringing people together. That's what I love about that event. Brings people together. Fantastic. Oh, I look forward to listening to that episode then. There you go.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, there you go. Good to see you, Games Guru. Let's have a look at some scores that people are putting in. Danka said, this version of the format does make me want to try it. 7.5. LeBray says, I'm going to push for an 8. Drawn Circle said, their mouths don't move. It's an odd choice. 7 out of 10. Gozzo says 7.5. Chaotic says a 7. Kindred says a 7. Dave says a 7. iQuel says 6.5. Flame says a 7. And we've got some ads, so I'll just wait for a second. But while we're doing that, Geoff, I'll start with you on this one. What do you reckon this is? This has got.
Personal opinion, I'd love to give this something like an 8 or a 9, but I know this isn't like mainstream gaming or whatever. So I'm going to be boring. I'm going to say 7 again.
Okay, going for a 7. Dave, what say you?
I was thinking 7 as well, so I'll go for the
7 as well. Okay. Those who've just been in adverts, welcome back from the ad break. Greatly appreciate you being here. Last chance, folks. Get your scores in. Games Guru saying a 7.5. Last chance. Get this. This is Carmen Sandiago, which is already out on Android and iPhone and Netflix, but is now, as of last Tuesday, on PS4, 5, Xbox Series X, S1, PC, and Nintendo Switch. So there you go. Now, Games Guru says, I never win these. Because you never know, you might be lucky. Because I can tell you that Carmen Sandiago fared a little bit better than our first game tonight. I did get a 7.5 out of 10. So he's literally said, I never get these right. And he's got one right. So you couldn't get better timing than that. So congratulations, Games Guru, who I think has just gone, no way. So he's probably running around the house going, ah! Like that.
He's just exploded, I think.
Yeah, he just exploded. He might not be able to turn up for the podcast. You might have to reschedule while we piece him back together. So we'll get him back to you as soon as we can. So well done, Games Guru, for getting that right. A lot of people were very close, saying 7. Gozzo, well done. You're 2 for 2. Danka, also right, 2 for 2. Well done. I don't think I missed anyone else, but well done, the 3 of you, for getting that right. That is amazing. There are shout outs right there, as you can see. So well done for that. Moving on to our next story, and we hinted at this, and you can see it on the little ticker at the bottom. It's not a massive news story, but it was interesting that a interview with Neil Druckmann, obviously the main guy behind Naughty Dog, was asked the question of when will we ever get a Last of Us Part 3 in terms of the game, now that the multiplayer game has been scrapped, as we talked about on this show a couple of weeks ago. And funny enough, iQuail posted in the chat, and I didn't want to say it because it would lead into this, but iQuail basically said that they will probably get to it once they've finished doing the remastered version of the remaster for the remaster. So that's probably an official leak there. But basically, he did say they are not probably going to do it, and they are not expecting to do it anytime soon. So it's highly unlikely that they will ever do a part 3. They feel that the story has ended as far as he's concerned for now. As we know, they are working on other games. They've got this really cool game that they showcased back in December, so we'll have to see it. But for fans of Last of Us, we can tell you that season 2 of the TV show will be airing over in the UK on Sky next month. It lands next month. But what is interesting is, because everyone's been saying, well, how are they going to do it? Because obviously, if you know the games without any spoilers, you're going to know what's going to happen in the TV series. But they're saying that the second series is probably going to be quite longer, and therefore The Last of Us Part 2, the game, will be spread over 2 seasons of the TV show. So you might be getting season 2 and season 3 that covers said game and what happens in that game. But they're hoping not to have like a 4-year gap, because it's been quite a few years. I know it hasn't been 4 years, but it's been quite a few years since the first series. And then where they take it from there, we don't know, because they might end it, or they might go in its own direction and elsewhere, like some TV shows do. So we'll have to see. After they remastered season 1. Oh, yes, I forgot they'll have to do that as well. Because I said, I'm doing some recording of a PS2 game at the moment, but I'm still listening just to get the final boss out. No worries, dude. He's playing Sly Cooper, is it? Oh, there you go. We need a new Jak and Daxter. Maybe we'll get it. Did they do Jak and Daxter?
Yeah, I think they did way back.
They did, yeah. I know, because obviously they did Crash Bandicoot and stuff. But we know what's the new game they announced at Christmas?
Intergalactic.
Intergalactic. That's their next big thing, isn't it? Which I am quite excited for.
We've got no date for that, so that's either this year or
I think it'll be
next year. To be honest,
I think it'll be next year. We'll probably see more of it later this year, but next year. And we know they're not doing. They've got no plans for any more Uncharted games. I'm sure Crash will come back in some way, but we'll see. I'm not happy they binned Crash and Spyro games. Yeah, the last Crash thing they did was that multiplayer thing, which was all right, but after 6 months they kind of shut it down. So, because people don't want these multiplayer games, they keep thinking. But there you go. Thoughts, gentlemen, though. Obviously, Dave, I know you've played a lot of The Last of Us, so I'll start with you. Are you kind of disheartened by the fact they're not going to do a third game, or do you think they've taken it as far as it should have gone anyway?
They didn't really leave a huge amount open into the second game. I think they sort of finished it off quite nicely. So they don't have to carry it on. And I think Neil Druckmann, I think it might have been last year or the year before, when they brought out a documentary about the making of Last of Us 2. He did say at the end of that he had some sort of idea for a concept, not a storyline for a third one. Yeah. But of course now he's saying probably not going to happen. It's not like a definitive no the way he worded it, but it doesn't sound that likely. But it's one of those things. I'd rather they didn't make it if they haven't actually got a good story to go along with it.
Yes.
Because we've seen it with too many franchises where they just keep going and going and haven't actually got a good story. They're just pushing it out simply because they know it will make money, not because they've got a good story or any better reason than that to do it. So I'd rather they just left it here. if they haven't got an idea. But if in a few years he comes up with a really good idea and thinks he can carry on with that, then by all means.
I think that's a fair comment. Again, I kind of like it to stay where it is for now, unless they've got something else they want to say. But I think it ended perfectly fine. Again, no spoilers or anything. There you go. Icon said, yeah, Microsoft owns Crash now, so that's right. It's no longer a Naughty Dog thing, is it? Paul James, game testing. Hello, evening all. I hope everyone's doing well. Great to see you. Paul will be a guest on one of our future shows this month of TNGC. So great to have you here. Dan Game Tank says, it bothers me that Naughty Dog has sat on so much quality IP and they're doing nothing with it. It shouldn't, but it really does. I get that feeling. But it's like they said they won't do any more with Uncharted. And when I saw Nolan North in conversation last year, October, they were like, well, as far as we're concerned, we're all done with it. So they had all the voice cast with it. And they said, we're not expecting to do another Uncharted game. Again, like you, I think they did 4 perfectly good games. They don't need to take it any further now.
They finished off perfectly.
Yeah. So don't do it. Don't do it. Games Goose says, still need to play Crash 4. Do you know what? That's the only one I've not played. It's on my list to play. When will Mag be a guest on TNGC? When Dave becomes the host. So there you go. That answers it. Geoff, your opinions on this? Do you think you played the Last of Us games?
My last couple of gaming generations have been Xbox, so that probably tells you. I have, well, it's not mine, it's my partner's PS3 under the television. I did buy The Last of Us for it about 5-6 years ago, and I probably played it for about an hour. It's a good game, but I haven't got very much into it. Yes, I know all the spoilers, so don't worry. But yeah, it's a good game, and I thought a chance to play PlayStation 3 games, so I got all the stuff that was big at the time.
Nice.
You know, I went and got Gran Turismo. I'm a Forza kid, but I went and got Heavy Rain because I thought that was my sort of game. I loved the Fahrenheit game. But yeah, sorry, getting back onto The Last of Us. Yeah. I suppose as well, if the TV show does big things, is there a possibility they may come back to it and go, you know what? It's a popular show, because I don't think Bethesda have given up on Fallout now that there's a television show of that out.
Not at all, exactly. And I think that's done. Both TV shows have done wonders for those games because we've seen a lot more sales. And obviously, you know, the TV show, I think it was 2 years ago or more, when the more remasters came out and that they sold well as well. So it's probably good. But let's hope it's not more remasters. Let's hope it might bring out another product. Or we get the reverse. The TV show may carry on the story and then they base the game around that. Because that doesn't often happen. That could be quite good if they decide to do that. But we'll see. Only time will tell. We will see. We will see. Moving on to our next game. Now, this is a game that I know that Geoff, your friend Paul Monaghan's very excited for. And he was trying to ask me when I had a phone conversation with him last week, kind of, what's this going to get? But again, it's one of these games that's got a huge title, which is going to take me ages to announce. But this came out last Thursday, ladies and gents. This is Suikoden. I know I've not said that right. 1 and 2 HD remaster, Gate Rune, and Dunican Unification Wars.
Dunnan.
I said Duncan. Call it Duncan. I think that sounds better. Suikoden. Thank you, Dave. Don't worry. The trailer says the name far better than I ever could. And this came out for PS4, 5, Xbox Series XS1, and Switch, and PC. And here's the trailer because they will say it far better than me, but they probably won't say Duncan. And Duncan sounds good by me. Here we go.
Suikoden is a JRPG series that tells its story through more than 100 unique characters. The 2 original titles have been united for the latest consoles as Suikoden 1 and 2 HD Remaster. Suikoden 1, Gate Rune War is where it all started. The Empire is in chaos due to a violent tyrant, once a renowned hero. Our hero stands up as the leader of the Liberation Army and gathers allies to fight against the oppressive rule. Ideals, honor, friendship, loyalty, love, ambition. various ideas swirl under two different flags, the Liberation Army and the Imperial Army. Suikoden 2, Dunan Unification War is the direct sequel. The main characters, three childhood friends, find themselves tossed into a great whirlpool of destiny between the kingdom and the city-states. The hero and his childhood friend Joey of the kingdom's army are ambushed by the city-states amidst a truce. In a world where the sparks of conflict are smoldering once again, the heroes come to acknowledge their own justice. Suikoden features more than 108 characters. Players travel around the world, form and expand on their relationships as they meet new friends. The number of allies that join your army will lead to leveling up your home base. As it expands, various facilities are added to increase convenience, and your journey continues. Suikoden follows a turn-based command battle. Powerful skills and co-op with allies are used to battle powerful enemies. In addition, auto battle and double speed mode have been implemented. With sped-up battles, players can deeply immerse themselves in the story. War, where the player's army fights the enemy army, and Duel, in which the player fights one-on-one. Both special fights add a new layer of tension and excitement to the battles. New features such as autosave, mini-map, convo log, and swapping equipment between characters have been implemented to boost practicality. The field has been completely redesigned with HD background graphics and updated character illustrations. An epic story spun anew after 30 years. Suikoden 1 and 2 HD Remaster, Gate Rune and Dunan Unification Wars. On sale March 6th.
PlayStation.
I prefer that it's called Duncan Unification Wars. I think my title's so much better. There you go. But that's, yeah, and if I wanted to change the name of it, I would call it Sonatogen 1 and 2 HD Remaster. There you go. But no, we won't do that because I know there are fans of the game right here. And Geoff just said this is a long trailer, almost as long as the title. I agree. But if you saw what John Unicycle put in, that's probably the longest title of a game I've ever seen in my life. DJ Mike, good evening. Good to see you, or good afternoon where you are over in Canada. Hope you're well. I like how it talks about autosave and mini-maps like they're revolutionary concepts. I know, but, you know, things that weren't in the original games, I guess. But Dave, tell us more about these two HD remasters.
Yeah, I think it covered pretty much everything you need to know in the trailer, didn't it? It told you the general story gist for both games.
Yeah.
I thought they both looked like pretty decent remasters, though. They looked as good as the ones that Square Enix have been doing recently with their 2D HD ones they've been doing. This looks very nice. It's kept the sort of nice sort of pixel art style, but with just improved like backgrounds and things like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, whilst we take like mini maps and stuff for granted these days, it's nice to have them in these older titles, because you go back to some of these old ones now on the original platforms, they can be a bit harder to find your way around them, and we're used to all the modern sensibilities of things like mini maps, auto saves, things like that. So it's nice that they do take the time to put that into it, so that people coming into it with today's standards of a game can get into these and play them and still enjoy them. So hopefully for fans of it, it'll be good for them to go back and revisit it.
Awesome. A couple of things before I ask Geoff his opinion. DJ Mike said we just had daylight savings on Sunday, so it's evening for a few weeks before our time change. So that's cool. Well, good evening, Mike. Great to see you, mate. John Unicycle said that is actually the record holder for the longest game title, the one that you put on screen earlier. He says, and it is a game on my shelf. So there you go. Geoff, are you very familiar with these original games, and are you excited for this HD remastering?
Not at all. Not that I'm not excited. I don't know about these games at all. JRPGs have never been a game genre I've been into. I have played.
No.
I have played the odd Final Fantasy and the odd Kingdom Hearts, if that counts. But no. Pokemon, anything like that. I've never really gone down the path.
Yeah.
There's people going to be shouting at me, going, "How dare you compare Pokemon with Suikoden?" But no, it's the thing is, for me, I've always struggled with RPGs anyway because I'm absolutely crap at managing resources and crafting stuff in video games. So it's like I always end up there going, I can't get any further because I've already used all of the stuff I've collected to make something which is completely useless now.
Yeah.
And as for the longest game, there is one. I'm trying to remember it. It came out at a sort of a 90s or 2000s Spectrum game, and it's got this horrendously long game title that I'll have to find it and share with you all later.
Oh yeah, that'd be amazing.
It's the World of Spectrum entry for it goes down about 4 lines, just because of the length of this game name. But I'll have to find it and share it.
Yeah, we'll chuck it in the Discord after the show. That'd be amazing. I want to hear what that is because it's going to be one of those where I'll go, "Oh, flipping heck, I remember that," or it's going to be like, "I never knew that existed," because I had a Spectrum, so I used to love playing stuff on Spectrum.
You will not have heard of this one.
Oh, okay, it's that obscure, is it?
Oh, very, yeah.
Oh wow, okay. I'm looking forward to seeing that. So there you go. Supernova, good evening. Good to have you, buddy. Thank you for joining us. Let's see what people's scores are for this. Let's go. Danka said, I so want to play this. So this 2.5D version will make it so much more enjoyable. 8 out of 10. Gozzo saying 8 out of 10. Chaotic says, yeah, I'm going to say at least an 8. These games always score higher. Drawn Unicycle, I'll say that again now, I'll put my teeth in, is 9 despite the dissertation that is the trailer. I mean, I can't agree with you. That trailer was over 3 minutes long, believe it or not. And that was the shortest one I could find. iQuell says 8.5. LeBray says 8. Kindred says 8. Flame says 7. Games Guru says 8. Paul says 8.5. Dave, I'll start with you this time. What do you reckon this got?
I'm going to go for an 8.5.
8.5. Okay. Jeff, what do you reckon?
I'm going to feel like I'm copying you, Dave, because that's exactly what I was going to say again.
No, you can have to say totally fine.
Even though my enthusiasm personally is low, there's a lot of enthusiasm for games like this. So, yeah, I'm going to say 8.5.
8.5. Okay. Folks, this is your last chance, especially for me, to butcher the name of this game. With Suikoden 1 and 2 HD remastered with Gate Rune, and I'm still going to say it, Dunican Unification Wars. I know that's not the name of the game, but I just like saying that. So there you go. It came out last Thursday on PS4, 5, Xbox Series X, S1, Switch, and PC. So there you go. There you go. Sudoku. Yes, Sudoku. Sonatogen. Why not? Subway. All different things. Not the thing that was supposed to be said, but we got there. No worries, Will. Absolutely fine. If there are no more scores or guesses, I can tell you that quite a few of you got this right. But the question is, which half of you got this right? Was it the 8.5s or was it the 8s? It was the 8s. This got 8 out of 10 on average. So there you go. Sorry, guys. Unfortunately, you didn't get it. But Guru, you are now 2 right. 2 right in the total history. Kindred, congratulations. You got it right. LeBraze, well done. You got it right. And Danka and Gozzo are 3 for 3 at the moment. Well done. So there you go. Way out in the lead, those guys. 3 for 3, which is pretty damn good going. Let's talk about something that people use. Batch, good evening. Good to see you. So good evening, Mags, Dave, Jeff, and chat. Great to see you, Batch. Hope you're well, buddy. Welcome on in. Let's talk about something that a lot of people use in the gaming world. I know we use it. And I know Jeff's going to post the longest Spectrum title name ever a little bit later on. We're talking about Discord, because people are a little bit worried about Discord because they've kind of announced plans to possibly go public. Now, if you don't know what that means, it basically means they're going to float on the stock market, which means that people can buy stocks and shares in it, which means then they have to make a certain amount of money to keep the shareholders happy. And that means people are worried that Discord is going to get overrun with adverts, because Discord has no adverts apart from some game quests that you can take part in to win some free loot for games, a bit like Twitch drops, and also their own Nitro program where you can get loads of extra bonus features. Those are the only things they ever advertise. They were exploring plans to originally go public back in 2021 when Discord was at an all-time hype level because lots of people were using it because of the fact that basically we were still kind of in lockdown. So it's being used by gamers, but they want to open it up to other platforms and other people, other businesses. Now, funnily enough, in 2021, they didn't go through with it, but they did do the deal with PlayStation because, as you know, Discord was first available on PlayStation. So you could use it as an alternative voice chat or messaging services on PlayStation. And then eventually, a couple of years later, it did come to Xbox. And I'll be honest, I use that more than I do Xbox Game Chat now. Discord, I think, is far better. So we do use that. But they are considering in going public. So the question is, if they did, do we think that adverts are going to be a problem? Because how are they going to make revenue to keep those pesky shareholders happy?
That's the problem, isn't it? The line's got to keep going up year after year after year. They've got to keep showing continuous growth. So, yeah, it's probably inevitable they'll do something with advertising further down the track. They might not do it for the first couple of years because they might have other ideas, like you suggested, like, you know, bringing other types of users in onto the platform.
Yeah.
So, but I'm sure they'll probably get to the point where it'll end up plateauing a bit. And then what do? Do you start putting... I assume there's monthly subscriptions for Discords there. Perhaps they'll start putting like those up a little bit.
Yeah,
but then
eventually, Carrot's just said that they put the price of the Nitro up.
Yeah. So yeah, you'll see those go up, and then eventually it again gets to the point where it might start plateauing a bit because there's no new people coming in. So yeah, then you might get advertised. Maybe you'll have like a lower tier for Discord users that includes adverts. Again, if you pay more, you don't get the adverts like we see a lot of the streaming services like Netflix and Disney doing. Yeah, I think probably inevitable. How quickly it'll happen, who knows? It's the wait and see.
I mean, one interesting thing is because obviously people are saying there's a storefront that you can buy stuff, and obviously you have the Nitro service because Discord is technically free, but if you want all the extra upgrades and stuff to use it, you know, you can pay for it. Gosler says it's not like Twitch or YouTube, so just keep the chats. Because the thing is, if you want a voice chat and then an advert kicks in, that's going to be weird. That's not going to work. What I can see happening is when you do Discord video calls, because it also works very much like Zoom calls and stuff, Twitch has different types of adverts. Like you get the adverts where they play typical adverts that you see on TV. But sometimes when you're watching a show, the screen gets a little bit small and there's a little advert at the bottom like a bar. And I can imagine that happening. And if that happens, it's not so intrusive. And that wouldn't bother me. So if you're in a video voice chat and that appeared for 30 seconds and then you just carry on with your voice chat, it wouldn't be so bad. Banner ads, exactly, Will. What might be difficult is if you are using it to present a show similar to this, that might be a bit tricky to get round because then it's going to show on your thing and you're not actually paying for that advertising. So I don't know. There's pros and cons to that. But Geoff, do you have any thoughts to what they could possibly do to keep people happy or not have tons of adverts on there?
Well, keep people happy, not float it, basically, not not do what they're talking about. But yeah, I mean, if you're going into adverts, I'm only a recent Discord convert, and I'm also part of a local drama group, and they put a thing out on their WhatsApp group a few months ago, basically saying we need a forum. We need to be able to have an online forum where we could chat about things. And I said, you know, I've set up a Discord for the drama group, don't you? And they went, really? I said, yes. Invited everyone to it. They're still only got about 5 or 6 people across the 40 or 50 members in this Discord group. I said, you don't have to join any of the channels or talk games. Just come here and we can chat about past shows and that. But I think if you get the advertising thing come in, it's going to send people away. You know, I mean,
I think it will.
Twitter, X, Facebook, you know, you get more adverts these days than you get posts.
Yeah.
And as well as that, it could also be political, like the way Twitter and Facebook has gone.
Yeah.
Sorry, X. Hate saying it.
We don't call it Twitter. Who cares? Yeah.
It'll always be Twitter.
Which is why I'm over on Blue Sky now.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Do go check him out on Blue Sky. In fact, drop the link tree please, mods. Then you can go check him out on Blue Sky. There you go. Will says, bring back TeamSpeaker. There you go. As long as Meta don't take it over, we should be all right. But we'll see. Obviously, if we get more information on this, we'll let you know. I kind of agree with Geoff. I don't think they should float it. It's doing all right, but obviously they want to make more money. They've worked very hard.
Do you remember IRC?
Yeah. So.
Do you remember IRC?
No.
That shows all down again. Or MIRC. That was nice.
Yeah. I never tried that. They could implement a streamer mode that could implement some kind of blur to adverts for capturing. Possibly. But I don't know how that will go if they're using it and then they're streaming to another platform like Facebook, Twitch, because that might go against terms of service and stuff. But I don't know. It's such a complicated minefield. We'll have to see. MSN, says Will. Yeah, use MSN. Oh, yeah. There you go. Meta can get fucked, says Chaotic. She didn't say fucked, but I knew what she meant, so I said it. So there you go.
ICQ.
Yes. ICQ. That's the way forward. It's the future. Well, it's the past, but it's the future as well. Or a mail order service. We could do that.
Paper mail.
Yeah, paper mail, Royal Mail, something like that. That'll work. Jenny says, MSN Messenger, those were the days. Oh, yes, they were. Oh, yes, they were. Moving on to our next game, and a game that has been very highly anticipated since it was announced last December, and boy, has it come round quick. Hazelight Studios have never put a foot wrong when it comes to games, and this is their fourth game, and we will be playing this with Chaotic Neutral on Friday streams. If you want to see this, me and Chaotic will be playing this said game. But the question is it going to live up to the hype after the multi-award-winning game It Takes Two from 2021? Out last Thursday on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. This is Split Fiction.
Look, I don't mean to be rude, but I really don't do small talk. Nice to meet you, too. So you want to go through more of your crazy stories? My crazy stories?
But how are we supposed to get out of here if we don't start to trust each other?
I don't need your trust.
Well, I kind of need yours.
2, 1,
I took inspiration for this story from when me and my sister were younger.
Look at all of this. It's amazing. I base the story around my dad. All I can do is write this silly story. Oh, we'll face it together. We got this.
Yeah. Follow my lead.
Are you for real, Zoe?
I wrote it when I was a kid.
What sort of devil child were you?
Hands above your head.
What now?
Ah! I did not sign up for this! Brace yourself, Zoe!
There's a lot riding on this one. Split Fiction. Dave, tell us a bit more about it.
Yeah, well, as you say, it's the new one from Hazelight. He did It Takes Two. It was I think it was at Game of the Year a few years back for Game Awards.
Yeah.
It did very, very well. I was quite late to the party playing that one, but it was absolutely fantastic. And I did play it.
Superb game.
Yeah, absolutely loved it. So I've been looking forward to this one. I have got it, but I haven't played it yet. I'll probably start playing it Sunday coming, hopefully. But yeah, this is going. The story for this one is these two writers go to this place and they get hooked up to a machine, and this machine is kind of like just like siphoning off their sort of creative ideas for like other uses by this company. But an accident happens and they sort of get linked together in some way, and you end up sort of jumping between their two sort of ideas for stories. The one's a fantasy writer, one's a sci-fi writer. So you end up in the different worlds, and it looks like Hazelight are doing the same sort of thing that they did previously, whereas they've got all these ideas that they just put into these levels, lots of different things you'll end up doing. You're doing like once, and it'll move on to a whole new idea. Yeah. But because it's a co-op game, all the actions that you got to do are to complement each other and help each other like get through the levels. So it's a brilliant co-op game. The one thing that's good about the co-op with this one, especially, is it's all cross-platform. So even if you're on, say, PlayStation, your friend can be on Xbox or PC, and you can play together. I think you just have to link up with your EA accounts when you're doing it cross-platform.
Yeah.
But that's really cool. So there's lots of ways you can play with your friends, and of course it's got the friend pass, so only one person needs to buy it. The other person can just go and find the friend pass version in whichever store and just download that one ready.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to playing this. It just looks really good fun. Lots of inventive ideas in there, lots of ways to play. Looks really, really good.
I can't wait to play this. I'm just saying that now. I can't wait to play this. And it annoys me because we were supposed to do the stream on Thursday and I've had to push it back to the Friday. So I've got to wait an extra day.
Only one more day.
One more day. I can't wait. So it's going to be good. Jenny says the dragons were cute. Yes, they were. Geoff, your thoughts on this one?
I didn't play It Takes Two, but I played Brothers, a game I think one of the developers worked on.
That was really
before.
good.
Yeah, Brothers, and there was No Way Out. Yeah. Way Out. Sorry. Yeah.
Yes, I love Brothers. I thought it was a fantastic game. I absolutely love everything about the look of this game. I just need to find a friend to play it with. But yeah, am I right in saying as well this has got split screen? So you can couch co-op it as well.
Yeah,
you can.
Yeah, you can.
Fantastic. That's sorted then. I'll play it with my partner.
Yeah, you can. Checking on the back of the box just in case, but yeah, you can.
We're missing so much in the way of couch co-op and split screen games these days. Yes. So into this. Yeah, absolutely. I want to play it. Yes, please.
Yeah, everything about this is just ticking the boxes. The question is
as well. So
oh yeah, of course, yeah. So that's going to tick all the boxes as well. So yeah, let's see what people are saying scores wise. Let's go. Just scrolling up to the top. Danka says if it ain't a 9, I'm walking. Drawn Unicycle says 8.5 easy. Kartik says 9. I'm going with it. If it's not, I want to know why it's not. Batch says 9. LeBray says 3. No, I'm kidding. It's a 9. Paul says 9.5. I like what you did there, LeBray. I like that. Gozzo says a 9. iQuail says a 9. Kindred says a 9. Jenny says an 8. Flame says an 8. Geoff, I'll start with you. What do you reckon this has got?
I'm going to go for 9.
Going for a 9. Okay. Dave?
Second, I was thinking as well, so I'm going to go for the same.
You're going for a same for 9. Will's going for a 9.5. Folks, this is your last chance to get a shout out in the chat. Have a guess at the score. This is Split Fiction, which came out last Thursday on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. Okay. There's going to be a lot of people that are very unhappy. Because this got a 9.5 on average.
Oh, nice.
9.5.
I'm pleased it got higher.
Yeah, now, when the reviews started to drop, and the reviews started to drop early, as in they were dropping literally when we were doing this show last week, it could have got an average of 10, but we saw some other reviews that dropped. So I know GameSpot gave it a 10, but IGN gave it a 9, and I think on Metacritic it's sitting just above 9 or 9.1 or 9.2 or something like that. But there's some other ones that were basically giving it a 10 out of 10, and they could hardly fault the game whatsoever. And the things that they did fault, they still actually is not really a fault. So yeah, a 9.5 on average. So well done to Paul James for getting that right. Well done, Will, for getting that right as well. I think there was only 2 of you that guessed that. But yeah, at least the people who said, I'll walk if it's not a 9, need to stick around because it wasn't lower than 9. But yeah, 9.5. This is proper Game of the Year material, people. And now now it's that thing of, if I play this, am I going to fall in love with this so much that this is the end of the year done? Nothing else is going to compete. That's my only worry. That if this is so good, am I not going to care about any other games for the rest of the year? You just don't know. I actually want it to be a game of the year. I do actually. I just watching that trailer, I get tingles off it, and it's just like I got with Astrobot, and I was like, yeah, I can see this ticking all the boxes. Gazzo says, I can't wait to play the sausage mode. Yeah, where you get to play a sausage on a barbecue. I can't wait for that. Or there's the pigs that fart and fly. I mean, that's going to be great. Has any game ever had a 10 on TNGC? Yes, it has.
We've had a few. I can't think
We've had a
off the top of my
few
head now.
but we could probably count them on one hand, I reckon, in the 4 year over the 4 years. Yeah. But there you go. Doom Dark Ages got to be. Well, I am a big fan of Doom, so I am looking forward to that as well. But it's going to be like between those two games. I just hope Doom doesn't disappoint, because if it does, then it will get dropped lower, in my opinion. But I reckon that's going to do good things as well. Oh God, this year's going to be difficult picking a top 5. So we'll see. We'll see. But well done to everyone who got that right. Now, folks, gonna say a little plug for something. As you know, as of last night, we started raising money for charity for the British Red Cross. I'm not going to play the video. You can see the video when we do the stream tomorrow night. But if you want to find out more, thank you to those who have already donated. Exclamation Quest in chat. There is a donation link. We are attempting over the next couple of weeks to raise up to £500 for British Red Cross. This is a charity that we've wanted to work with for a very long time. And speaking to Dan at the charity, this is our first opportunity. Now, we are setting some targets for you lovely people. So if you donate, you will also be entered into a raffle. If we reach £100, we will give you someone will win a gift voucher for either Amazon, PlayStation or Xbox. If we reach 200, we're going to give you a free piece of mag merch from my very own store. If we reach 300, someone is going to get a free ticket to Timeless Gaming Convention. If we reach 400, someone is going to get one of the limited edition pieces of Timeless merch. And if we reach 500, British Red Cross themselves are going to donate a high piece of tech, whether it be headphones, glow, light up USB cables, you name it. It'll be one of 10 pieces of tech. And one of you lucky people who have donated to the charity will win one of those. So please donate, whether it's £1, £5, it will get you an entry into the draw. And every time when we hit one of those 100 milestones, we will do a draw. Please do give generously, as we will be running this donations for the next couple of weeks. And if you want to find out more, tune in to tomorrow night's stream. Let's move on to our next game now. We were due to play this game on stream next week. However, it didn't kind of release how everyone thought. So we are talking Frag Punk, which came out last Thursday, and it was due to come to PC, Xbox Series X and S, and PS5. And it was a new 5v5 free-to-play shooter, but with a twist. However, they decided to delay the Xbox and PS5 version, so it only actually came out on PC. So we have decided to postpone the stream because on a community night, we want a game that everyone can play on all platforms, cross-platform, for free. So we will do it once it comes out, and I'm sure we will maybe talk about it again on the show. But for now, we are talking about the PC version only of Frag Punk.
Yo! Hate rules? Frag Punk's here to spice them up. We're the 5v5 FPS that lets you bend the rules with cards. Cards can literally do anything. They can beef you up. They can change the weather. They even interact with each other. So you can blast people up even more. Or find foes when they try to be sneaky. Crush them with massive force. But remember, they've got tricks of their own. If you're down on luck, then you better have a good team with you. Ready to duke it out, one-on-one, till the last one stands. Bend the rules in Frag Punk.
There you go, folks. That is Frag Punk, which came out on PC last Thursday and is due to come out on consoles at some point. We don't know because it's now been delayed on consoles. Jesse says it looks like Knockout City versus Valorant. This looks great. I know. This is why I'm gutted we're not playing it next week now. So we will play it whenever we know, but we haven't been told when the console versions are coming. Danka said, shame we have to move it as had a go at the weekend, and it's quite an interesting twist on the standard format. So there you go. Dave, tell us a little bit more about this one.
Yeah, well, this is a new 5v5 hero shooter, which doesn't initially sound particularly interesting.
Yeah, of course.
Tons of those, but it's card element. Just make it sort of sound a bit more interesting, make it stand out. I think amongst all the other similar games, and the different cards sound quite good. Some of them remind me like all sort of cheat codes. There's cards that can make the character's head big, like Chaos it mentioned in chat. But there's like a card that can also make the character's head small, so you can use that as like a buff for your team, so that it then makes your team harder to be headshot by the opposition. So those sort of things sound quite good. It sounds like it can mix up each game, so like each match is at least a bit more diverse. Does sound like it's got a good number of modes as well to play, so you got a good choice. You're not just stuck in the same a couple of modes. There's a good selection there, and graphic wise, I think it looks quite nice. Nice sort of vibrant colours and stuff to it. Looks pretty fast paced. Looks like it could be pretty good fun. I might have a look at this one as well since it's free to play and on PC. Might gander, but hopefully once it comes out the console, hopefully as long as I've got a cross play involved, well, they'll have a decent audience to keep it going for a good while. Because that's the problem we've seen with too many of these games that have come out. They do well to begin with, and the audience just goes away and it gets closed down before you know it. Hopefully this one might stick around with the card.
I hope so. I do like the look of this. This one, if it didn't have the card element, I probably wouldn't be interested in this, but I do like the look of it. So fingers crossed. Geoff, your thoughts on this one?
This looks great if you're into 5v5 shooters. I always look at games like this and think, what's the single player campaign? And if there's no single player campaign, it automatically loses a couple of points for me. Because I do like just basically to chill out on my own and just play games on my own. If there's a group of people I trust, yeah, absolutely, I'll go in and play it with people. But I don't know. This may twist my arm a little because it's got the unique element with the cards in there that sort of piqued my interest. So yeah, I'd be kind of interested to give this a go. Just basically to see what it's like in full gameplay mode. But free to download, you say?
Yes, free to download. I think this is what made it advantageous to me. But it's just a shame that they pushed back, and it's annoying because they announced the PlayStation Xbox pushback on the day of release, which was annoying. Which then confused people because then they thought it wasn't coming out on PC, but then it did come out on PC. So it's one of them. But let's see what people are saying in chat. Let's have a look. Danka says 8.5. Gozzo says 8.5 on this one. Chaotic says 8. Batch said 4 in this one. He's not impressed by this. Flame is saying 7. Dave, I'll start with you. What do you reckon this got?
I'm going to try a 7.5.
7.5. Okay. Geoff, what do you reckon?
I could rate this very highly or very low. Depends on what angle I look at this for. I'm going to go quite middle. I'm probably going to annoy a lot of people. I'm going to say 6.5.
6.5. Okay. iCrowd says not sure on this one either. 7.5. Kindred saying a 7.5. Folks, get your scores in. This is Frag Punk, which came out last Thursday and is free to play on PC with Xbox and PlayStation versions due to come at some point. And if there are no more guesses in the chat, I can tell you, despite not coming out on consoles, this has done quite well because it averages at an 8.5.
Very nice.
So that makes me happy that obviously when the console versions come out, this should be a lot of good fun. And we will do this as a future community night because it means everyone can play it and it will be cross-platform and no one has to buy it. So we can have a good, 10 people playing the game. It should be good fun. So there you go. So go check it out. Well done to Danka. Well done to Gozzo. They are now 4 for 5 on the list. So they're doing pretty well. Well done, guys, for getting that. I don't know if anyone else got that, or was it just them? just them that got that right. So well done. Let's move on to some more gaming news. Now, obviously, a couple of weeks ago, we talked about the fact that, people can get excited because, GTA 6 isn't coming out, but GTA 5 Enhanced is coming out on PC. And yes, it certainly did come out when it landed on last Thursday, because it is technically now classed as Rockstar's worst reviewed game on Steam ever. It is sitting, it's had a very bumpy launch, and it's sitting at a 51% positive review. So it's like very average at the moment. It had a very bumpy launch. This was a free upgrade in certain respects if you already had the game, but it has caused a lot of problems, because obviously we've already stated when we talked about this on the show, there's no backwards compatibility. If you've got friends who haven't got the upgrade and you're playing on PC, you can't play with them anymore, which was a big bugbear from the start as soon as they announced it. A lot of people have said that there's been a lot of choppy frame rates, blurry visuals when they played it, so it doesn't seem like it's performing as well as it should. But here's a few other things. Quite a few people lost their progress, and it's supposed to migrate the progress. That didn't make people happy, that because they basically lost everything that they had when they got through the game. The text chat has been removed, which a lot of people are not happy about, because they said, well, how else am I supposed to communicate now when I'm playing a game with people I don't know? Now, Rockstar did state that the migration thing, which was supposed to work, and the text chat, the reason they've been put in place is basically to stop bots and cheaters. But the problem with the migration software is anyone who's had a banned account or been banned for cheating, it's supposed to stop them from getting progress and have to start. But there's a lot of people who had genuine accounts who didn't get banned and didn't get stopped, who've lost all their progress. Well done, Rockstar. Well done. So, doesn't really bode well, does it, gentlemen?
No, it's not very good when the way they've launched this one. It's a shame it couldn't have just been, just like instead of being like a completely separate version, just like an upgrade over the top of what's already there. So that there's no legacy and enhanced version, no account migration needed. There must be some reason why they did it the way they did, but it just doesn't seem the best way to do it, because you end up in a situation where if you can't migrate your account for whatever reason, but your mates have, they're now on the new one, you're stuck on the old one, can't do much. Maybe Rockstar's support can help you, maybe they can't. It depends what's up with your migration issue, I suppose. But it's not a very good situation to be in. It's it will definitely sour it for a lot of people. Most people who've been playing, let's say, the old legacy version, if they've put like hundreds or thousands of hours into the online, especially, and got loads of stuff, they're not going to want to lose that and have to start afresh on enhanced just because they can't migrate the account. They're not going to do it. It just seemed a bit strange taking something like text chat out, because I can understand why it's like combat bots and stuff, but surely they should have some anti-cheat software and stuff in place to block that anyway. Because not everyone is comfortable using microphones to talk to people they don't know, or they simply might not have a microphone. So text chat is definitely needed. So I'm sure there's like some occasions in the game where perhaps if you are playing a team of randoms, but you're in separate parts of the map, well, you need some ways to communicate, don't you? And if you haven't got mics or you want to use a mic, you're going to need to use text, and it's missing. So hopefully they'll rethink that and bring that back in. But it's just a bit sad, a bit messy. You just got to hope they do something better when GTA 6 comes out and don't mess things up too much with that.
Yeah. Geoff, your thoughts?
What are the enhancements meant to be? Because I didn't realise there was an enhanced version coming out.
A lot of it is more graphical enhancements more than anything, but it also brings a lot of the aspects that were in the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X version, which have never been in the PC version. So there's a lot of extra stuff that you can now get that PC players could never get, pretty much.
So just out of interest, was the PC version of GTA 5 like the Xbox 360 version and the PS3 version? That came
more like the PS4 and the Xbox One version. That's probably the best way of describing it.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. I mean, the one thing I would say is that I think I've bought GTA 5 now on Xbox 360, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X. And And I'm trying to remember if my progress migrated when I went from 360 to 1, and I don't think it did. So I can fully understand the hate there of people losing, you know. And this was early days of GTA Online as well. So if that progress hadn't been carried over, that's a huge loss. So just out of interest, where did the remastered versions of GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas rate if this is now the lowest? Because I thought the remastered versions scored badly as well.
They did score badly, but you have to take into account that they came to console as well. So this is the lowest rated thing on Steam. So actually, this is done worse. And technically, that wasn't actually Rockstar. It was a part of Rockstar, but it was someone else that actually did
Street Games or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then they ended up getting another company in to fix all the problems, and then they sorted it out for them. So technically, if you're looking at purely Rockstar, this is Rockstar's worst release on Steam.
Right.
Yeah. So there you go. Yeah, folks, if you're considering getting the upgrade, you might want to wait a few weeks for GTA 5, or just wait for GTA 6 when it comes out in 17 years' time. Nice. Ems, great to see you. Welcome on in. Great to see you as always. Thank you for being here. Let's go on to our sixth game of the evening. This also came out last Thursday. This is out on PC, Xbox Series X, S1, PS4, PS5, and Nintendo Switch. And this is Slime Heroes.
Guardians, supposed to protect this land, failed. Corruption stalks every corner now. To be saved by a slime. What has the world come to?
I believe that if we can find a lost guardian, we may be able to help restore balance and peace to the land.
Run along now, little slime! See how tough you are, we shall. Save the Guardians! Save the world! A great tale this will be!
There you go, folks. That is Slime Heroes, which came out last Thursday. Dave, this looks like a lot of fun. Tell us a little bit more about this one.
Yeah, it's a sort of cutesy little third-person action game. You're playing as a little slime who's on a quest to try and save the 6 guardians that normally look after the land. It looks like some sort of corruption has come in and done something to him. So it's up to you to quest through, defeat all the creatures in your way, solve some puzzles and stuff like that, and try and save the day. It looks okay. It's supports co-op. It looks to me like it'd probably be more fun in co-op.
Yeah, than a single player.
The video I watched earlier, it didn't really look anything particularly special, as I say. But I think co-op will probably help it. Just jumping with the mate, have a laugh while you're playing through it, probably be all right. But yeah, it just looks like average little action game.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Geoff, your thoughts?
Yeah, I completely agree. This looks like a lot of fun. I just love silly ideas for games, and sometimes you don't want to play something that's so deep and meaningful. You just want to play a game about herding slimes around. I mean, Slime Rancher came to mind watching this. Name, but yeah, just a fun, silly game. Yeah, absolutely. I'd be up for this one.
Okay, cool. Well, let's see what the chat are saying. Danka says, looks like a good few hours, 7.5. 10. Gozzo saying a 7.5. Batch saying, not my game. I'd play, unfortunately. 5 out of 10. Chaotic, 7 out of 10. Kindred, 7. M says, looks cute. 8 out of 10. That's Nightbot. Don't want that. Geoff, we'll start with you. What do you reckon this got?
8, I'll go with.
Going for an 8. Dave, what say you?
I'll try a 7.5.
7.5 for this one. iQuail coming in with a 7. Flame saying an 8. So everyone's kind of going around 7 and 8 mainly. Folks, this is your last chance. Get your scores in the chat. This is Slime Heroes, which came out last Thursday on PC, Xbox Series X, S and 1, PS4 and 5, and Nintendo Switch. And if no one else is going to put any scores in the chat, I can tell you that this got a 7.5 out of 10. So there you go. Dave, you got one right. You got your first one right tonight. And our reigning champions, Gozzo and Danka, have also got theirs. They are now 5 for 6, which is pretty damn good going. Well done. Well done to all of you. Exclamation Dave in the chat. Give Dave a shout out because he doesn't actually have a channel. And because of that, it means that we have to do a shout out in a completely different way. And how would you like your shout out, Dave?
You can do some spinning on your chair, mate.
Okay, let's go. Are we ready? Warming up. Here we go. Hashtag fixed for Danka. I wouldn't say that because he got one wrong. So he can't be that fixed. But here we go. Here we go. Dave got his first one right tonight.
Thank you.
There you go. Congratulations. Well done, Dave. There you go. Our final news story of the evening, but certainly not the end of the show. A game that made my top 5 games of the year, and it just came ramming in just before Christmas, was Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. And obviously, we knew it was an Xbox exclusive for a limited time. And we know that it was going to come to PS5. They announced at Christmas, just as the game came out, that it's coming to PS5 sometime between now and the end of May. Well, Indiana Jones has been a very successful game. 4 million players so far have played it. It is a fantastic game. And people can rejoice because it has started to be listed in certain stores for PS5, which means it might be landing a lot sooner than we think. We might be getting it even maybe next month. Everyone was saying it's probably going to be April when it happens, but I think that's pretty much the key thing. So we could be getting it sooner than what people hoped. So my question is, if you played Indiana Jones, are you looking forward to it? Because it's another one of the Xbox games, just like they've announced Forza Horizon 5 is coming to PlayStation 5 very soon. It's still one of the games. PlayStation fans going to be excited for this because I love that game so much. It was a game that I thought was going to be rubbish. I'm going to be honest, after seeing the trailer, I thought it was going to be rubbish. Totally changed my mind because how good it was.
Yeah, it'd be good for the PS5 players that's coming over there. I mean, bigger audience over there on PlayStation compared to Xbox. Chance for more sales for Microsoft Bethesda on this one. I've still yet to play it. I haven't got around to it yet, but it's still on my list to play. I'm trying to get through some other games I already started last year before this one appeared. So yeah, it did very, very well. I know that. I remember you really enjoyed playing it.
Yeah, loved it.
Pretty much all the reviews were glowing. So yeah, it's definitely one the PS5 crew to look out for. They will enjoy it.
Yeah, fingers crossed it lands very early. Geoff, you
played I've got to get back. I have. I've got to get back to. Actually, I'm still stuck in one of the levels. I'm trying to remember where it is. I think I'm stuck in a castle somewhere. Not very far in, actually. But
okay, yeah. So you must be like the second level, yeah.
Yes, but yeah, I got to get back to it. It's fantastic. Everything about it just feels like an Indiana Jones film.
Yeah.
And the guy who does the voice of Indy as well is just spot on.
Oh, yeah.
Harrison Ford himself has said how good this guy is at an award ceremony. So yeah, I've really got to get back into it. What I want to know though is, Forza Horizon going over to Xbox.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones going over to Xbox. Other games have gone over to Xbox. When Spider-Man came into Xbox, going to PS5 even. When Spider-Man came into Xbox, I want that, please.
Probably no time soon because it's Xbox.
No.
All their stuff over, and Sony don't give a shit about Xbox. So I don't think it'd be lovely to happen because they are the Spider-Man games. All three of them are fantastic, but yeah.
I mean, there was the baseball series of games came over, didn't it? MLB,
yeah. And then that eventually started to come to Nintendo Switch as well. That was interesting because it was always PlayStation. Then it came to Xbox, and then the year after that started to come to Switch as well. Ironically, that's out next week. We are going to be talking about that on next week's show. So it's funny you mentioned that. But yeah, I don't just Sony and their studios that they own are just not keen on PC, which is ironic because we're going to talk about something in a minute. Very much so. But apart from that, no, they're not interested, which is sad. But there you go. And that does beautifully segue, as if by magic, thank you, Geoff, into our last game of the night. This came out on PlayStation 5 last year. You may remember I did a stream of it. It got a 7.5 out of 10. So it didn't set the world on fire. It was kind of overlooked, to be fair, but I had quite a lot of fun playing it. But almost a year on, we get, or even less than a year on, we get a PC version. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is our last game of the night. And this is Rise of the Ronin.
There's a saying they have over there. It's always darkest before the dawn.
Japan, the great white whale that's eluded all others.
The time has come to settle things with firearms. They are still alive.
Do not get in my way.
Fighting is such a bore. Attack me, and you attack the shogunate. The traitors who dare threaten the palace will die by our hand. We have righteousness on our side. We finally meet, and you do this.
Times of strife, when we are most needed.
I finally see the new shape this country must take.
There you go. So, Rise of the Ronin PS5 exclusive finally comes to PC, and this came out yesterday. And as Danka said, this game release crept up on me. Yeah, we knew it was coming, but then they actually didn't drop the trailers for it until today, so a day after it came out, which I thought was really be weird. But for anyone who didn't see me stream this last year, Dave, tell us a bit more about this one.
Yeah, this is an open world RPG. It's set in a particular time period of Japanese history where the West had come to Japan, and it's also where it's the end of the Shogun era as well. So your character who you can create in this game is taking part in events, throughout that period of history, and you get to choose how the events go. So you can alter the story, get different ending, multiple different endings to get. It looked okay at the time. I remember it wasn't particularly much of a wow in the graphics department. It just looked okay, but compared to other games right at the time, it was nothing particularly special. I think the combat in it is meant to be pretty good from what I recall. Open world wise, again, I don't think that's anything particularly special. Not if you like good exploration of the game. It's just pretty much by the numbers open world, pretty Ubisoft style open world. That's sort. If you like your icons and check boxes and stuff to clear off on a map, then you might enjoy this one. But it is that type of open world. But I think the combat, by the sound of it, helps get you through it.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty decent story. As I say, you can alter events, depending on which faction that you go along with throughout the game.
Yeah, I thought it was a perfectly good game. It just wasn't a great game, but I was really hyped for it at the time, and then played it and was like, hey, it's okay, it's good. It just didn't. I think, like a lot of people, it didn't set the world on fire. It came out, it went.
Yeah,
and that was it.
Just your average open world, isn't it?
Yeah, it was fun at the time, and that was it. But there you go. Geoff, were you familiar with this game when it came out last year?
No, I wasn't familiar with it at all. I've got to be honest, it's leaving me a little cold. I don't fancy this one at all. It's RPG, medieval style game. It's just not ticking my boxes on this one. Don't get me wrong, it looks good. The combat looks good, but it's just not a game I'd be buying anytime soon, I don't think.
Yeah. No, that's absolutely fair. So, folks, let's have a look, see what chat's saying. Danka's saying 8 out of 10. Gozzo says an 8. Batch says if he got a 7.5 up before on PlayStation, I'll go for a 7.5. iQual says the same, 7.5. Flame is saying 8. Games Goo saying 7.5 again. M saying 8. So, chat, get your scores in. Dave, I'll start with you on this one. What do you reckon?
I'm going to go for 7.5 again.
7.5 again. History repeating itself. Geoff, what do you reckon?
7.
Going for a 7. Okay. Because you never know. Might be a PC port. Might not be as good. You don't know. It has happened. PlayStation had some terrible PC ports, but it has also had some very good ones, so we can see what happens. Last chance, folks. This is Rise of the Ronin, which has finally come to PC. Already been available on PS5 since probably late spring last year, I think. That's a lot. I can't even remember when it came out now. It's been that long since we played it. And this came out yesterday. And if there are no more scores in the chat, I can tell you that because it's a PC port, it actually fared a little bit better on average and did actually get an 8 out of 10.
Fair play.
Now, bearing in mind it came out yesterday and we're doing the show today, whether that score changes over the course of the week, because we have had seen that happen. Some scores have gone up, some scores have gone down. So it's just literally based on the information I had when I wrote the show this afternoon. So it could go back down to 7.5. You don't know. But for those who did say it, congratulations. Well done, Danka and Gozzo, who were 6 out of 7 correct. Well done. Also, Ems, well done. Congratulations. Flame, congratulations. You all get shout-outs. Again, please do give a follow to all these wonderful people who spend the time watching the show. We greatly appreciate it. So do give them a follow as well. And there you go, folks. There you go. Batch goes, it's fishy. Do you know what, though? He don't always get them right. Danker and Gozzo sometimes have some great weeks, and then they have some, no offence to them, some absolutely shambolic weeks. A bit like Dave here. Dave has weeks that he gets nearly all of them, and then this week he's only got one. So actually, Geoff has done better. Our guest this week has done better than Dave. So there you go. It happens. It's the luck of the draw, and nobody sees the scores but me. But if you're clever and you go on the internet and you research it, you've probably got a good chance of guessing it 9 times out of 10. There you go. But it's a bit of fun anyway. It's a bit of fun. You don't win anything apart from shout-outs. And, yeah. So there you go. Bit of fun. It's not like I'm giving away a fucking 50-inch TV, is it? Let's face it. If I did that every week, I would be bankrupt. I would not be a Twitch streamer. Yeah, I'll be a TV salesman probably. So thank you so much to everyone. Firstly, thank you to everyone in chat. You wonderful people. There you go. See, look, Danka says I do watch the video reviews too, which is fair. You know, they're on all different websites. They're available. As I said, with Split Fiction, the video reviews, the game didn't come out the Thursday, and the video reviews were literally live by the time we finished this show last week. It's not like you can escape it. So yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Thank you to you wonderful people in chat, as you always watch the show. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you for taking part. Dave, as always, my co-host in Knows the Most.
Always a pleasure.
For being here and joining with me. And our wonderful guest tonight, Geoff from 8-Bit Back Issues. Thank you so much for being here. Greatly appreciate it.
Be my pleasure.
So good to have you here. And can we have all his links in the chat and the latest? There you go. There's the link tree for everything. The Blue Sky, the Twitter, the Facebook, the Instagram, all the Spotify links. Latest episode is already out now. Next episode is dropping when, Geoff?
Well, the new episode only came out on Saturday. Next episode will be out on 8th of April. Games Guru and I are chatting about an issue of Retro Gamer magazine. I can't remember the issue number off the top of my head.
Oh, nice. Okay. Cool. So Games Guru is part of our community. You can listen to him and Geoff on the latest podcast. But do go have a look at the last couple of podcasts as well. And I did feature on the January one. Links are still in my Discord for that. If you want to go check it out, !Discord for that. Geoff, thank you for being such a wonderful guest, as always.
Been my pleasure. Yeah, love being here.
Yeah, and we'll look, fingers crossed we'll be seeing you at, well, I think we pretty much know we're going to be seeing you at Timeless this year. So
yeah,
it's a dead cert, really, isn't it? So we'll see you there.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be great. And thank you to the mods, as always, for keeping everything moving in the chat, especially Mr. Dan Gaintank, who does an excellent job doing all the shout-outs, bless him. And there's been a lot of shout-outs tonight, so thank you again, Dan. And thank you to the other mods for doing everything else. You're always greatly appreciated. Let's go do a raid. Let's see who we can do. Let's see who we can do. That sounded wrong. Let's see who we can go and raid over. Should have picked a better choice of words as my stream deck. There you go. There you go. M saying thank you, mods. That's great. Dan gives a whoop whoop. Let's see who's. Oh God, there's a lot of people. This was like last night. There's so many people to pick from. Let's have a quick look. Oh, do you know what? There was someone. Oh, they're not on tonight. There's someone that was like, "Oh, I really should raid them." Give me 1 second, folks. Night, iQuail. Take care, buddy. Tell you what, let's go. Let's just see what are they streaming. Oh, no, they're on a blooming break. That's so annoying when it happens. What are they streaming? This is why I'm just going to press buttons. Flipping out with people. What is people with people where they're alive? And do you know what? I'm going to go for an easy one. What's he streaming? There, they've gone on a Be Right Back.
No, much luckier, are you?
Not. Oh, flipping out! He's raiding out. I was going to raid Tourette's game, and he's raiding out to someone else. Forget that. Let's go back. I'll tell you what. Tell you who's on. I'll go to my next one on the list. Professor Stork, who's been on the show. What is she streaming? Please don't say she's on a Be Right Back. No, she's not. She's playing Overwatch 2. Oh my God, your twin is on playing wrestling. Oh, that's a good shout. Because the new wrestling game comes out next week, and we're going to be talking about that. So do you know what? We did raid Professor Stork recently. Where is middle-aged Gamma? He's my Canadian twin. Where is he? On here. I can't find him. We should get him on the show. There he is. He is. He's playing wrestling. Obviously, he's not playing the... I don't think he's playing the new one. Oh, he is playing the new one. He's got the new game. So he's got the early access for it, because I know there's early access. And it comes out later this week, and we'll be talking about that on the show next week. So let's go raid middle-aged Gamma. Perfect for it. All the way over in Canada. That raid will start when the end credits are rolled. I know you'll be excited to see us. Thank you so much. I'll raid Faz another time. I will raid Faz another time, Gozzo. Faz is a good guy, but we did raid him a couple of weeks ago. So there you go, folks. That raid started, and all that leaves for me to say is, wherever you are in the world, have a great morning, a great afternoon, or a great evening, and I shall see you back tomorrow at 8:30, where we are playing a new community game. We are playing Fast Penguin, which is free to play and cross-platform. It's going to be chaos. It's like Mario Kart mixed with Fall Guys, I've been told. So if you want to join in with us, you can play some Fast Penguin. You'll know why it's called that, because of the way the title. But anyway, there you go. Thank you so much. Take care, and we'll do that thing where we all wave at the camera to finish off. Thanks so much.
Good night.
Bye.